break.
So we here right here, people, with
Yes.
Mr. Ron Carroll. I told you, we were not shucking and jiving. It's a little chilly out here. I had to, I had to zip my coat up. You know, we're out here, where's the 74th in Chappelle, 74th in Jeffrey. It is going down. We are right here in the Bryn Mawr school lot. Now, for the people in Chicago, you know where Bryn Mawr is. You know the type of school Bryn Mawr is. So, therefore, we're going to walk through, let Ron kind of narrate his way through here. I told you, we bringing you to the streets, people. 100%. You thought that this was like your average dance album. This is a never done before dance album. Ron didn't always ride the nice trucks and, you know, the cool leathers. I mean, Ron went to public school, too. We all went to public school. So, let's take us on your journey, Ron.
What's up, everybody?
Introduce the people first.
All right, my name is Ron Carroll.
Tell them what you do.
I'm a DJ, singer, producer, writer. They call me the Minister of Sound. I just got that name because I played gospel house all the time. And growing up, this is my school. This is Bryn Mawr. All right? Let's walk through the lot. I'll tell you what went down. In all actuality, this is the first place I did my first party. And it's kind of weird because at the time I didn't know what a turntable was or whatever, but we were in this room right here. If you go to the number 2 door, inside that room right there, we had 2 boom boxes, all right? And what I did was we had tapes. I put a tape in one and I had it up loud, and on the other one I listened real low. And that's when I blended. I just turned one down and turned it up. So that was my first party in that room. And from there, it just started. Everybody was like, oh, Ron, I want you to do our classroom party. So that's how it started years and years ago. And here's the church where everybody graduated from, except me, because I was too busy doing music and clowning around, so I had to go to summer school in order to graduate properly. Go to school, get to go to school, finish the school. In this lot, I had a fight with a girl.
Why, girl?
And and she was big. She was like a dude. So I mean, like, I was scared of her, and we was in a smaller building over there. We was out at recess. We have a thing called recess. I don't know those who don't know recess in Europe, but recess is when we have a moment where all the kids take a break, come out, play a little bit before you continue class. So I'm out here, and it was this rock. I'm telling you, it's about this big. It's like it came out of nowhere. She was coming at me. I was scared, so I picked the rock up. Now, I don't beat women up, so don't use it against me. But I took this rock and threw it at the girl, and I messed her leg up, and I don't know if she can walk today, but
oh, wow.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
But, you know, you're scared. You're a scared kid. But this is what we played. This was our gym room right here. In school, I wasn't a really popular guy.
Yeah, because you threw the rock, right?
Exactly. I was really a shy guy, honest to God. People always mess with me. That was my problem in school. You know, this is the serious part of the tape. When I was in school, people used to always pick on me. I was one of the guys who they picked on all the time. Talked about, you fat, you can't do this, you can't do that, So right here, I remember this fateful day in this gym room, up on the fire escape. You had these kids who literally hung me off of the fire escape. I was scared to death, believe me, scared to death. And so from that point on, it was just like I got so locked into music, listening to it, trying to play it, you know, to get accepted. And honestly, I started doing it because I wanted to be accepted. That was my whole thing. And, you know, because everybody else had, like, sports, basketball, or football, or baseball, this and that. Me, I just had music. So that's how I became kind of popular with the kids. And when I take you on a journey, we're going to go to my high school, which was still a mess there. We're going to go to my house where I grew up. My dad was straight up Christian. Don't play that devil music, the whole nine. And hopefully, I hope he's there. We can ring the bell. He'll tell you a little more. And then after that, man, I'm going to show you this club that we started out around the neighborhood, which was the first club on this side of town. Because the way Chicago was to me, it was almost like a little country here. Because every side of town had their own flavor, their own style, their own music. It was crazy. This city was crazy. So we started some over here, and we're going to show you that, and that's it. So I'll holler at you in a minute. Come on with me.
To me, baby.
Yeah, yeah.
To me, baby.
This is Big Sexy.
To me, baby.
For my girl, True Love.
To me, baby.
We're bringing the heat. Carroll Manor, so to speak.
Carroll Manor.
You know, my dad got a starter window. Wow. Well, this is where we live. It wasn't a big place. You know, some people probably grew up in houses. I didn't grow up in a house. I grew up in an apartment. And it was a small, like, 2-bedroom apartment. It was me, my brother Nate, which we used to DJ together. And it's funny because when I started out, he kind of joined in with me, and we had this little group called J.M, which was called the Disco Jackmasters, funny name. And we used to, like, throw parties in our little basement. My dad don't let us have 2, and after that it was done. But this second floor is where I lived, right there. And dealt with a lot of issues with my dad. Me and him clashed a lot. And my oldest brother, I tell you about him, he was like one of those guys who like to make everybody happy. Okay, Dad, if you want me to be this way, I'll be that way. So him and Dad got along. And me, I was the outcast. Okay. We're going to see if he's home. Sometimes he looks out the window, so we might have to back up a bit so he can see me. If he sees just you guys, he's going to think that's what I'm. But anyway, before he answers the door, can you ring it again for us, guys? Top one, yeah. Basically, man, growing up was okay for me. I mean, I didn't have a really bad life. I didn't have a separated, family. My mother and father were together, for the whole time. And there wasn't any, like, big arguments I saw, nothing like that. My dad was kind of the guy who was kind of quiet. He kept, he wanted peace, and, he didn't really want to argue, things like that, in front of the kids especially. And growing up like that was cool. We had food on our plate. We ate chicken and rice a lot. I think chicken wings and rice was our number one meal. But we were fed, we were clothed, we were taken care of real well. Only problem was with me was trying to do what I wanted to do and not what they thought I should do. He wanted me to be an opera singer and play with the orchestra, which I could have, but to me, I want to do other things, and by that, sometimes parents clash. But I guess he's not going to answer the door. One of y'all got a cell phone? Yes. Yeah, call him up. Okay, let's see what's going to go on.
But seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness.
That's his message.
And all these things then shall be added unto you. Look at Matthew chapter 6 and verse 33.
That's another one.
Now you may read your message now.
Yo, Dad, I'm sitting out here with a camera crew that interviewed me for this album, and I wanted to see if you were home. I see your car, and we're going to call you on your cell number, see if you're there. This is cell number, 773. Dad,
Yeah,
where you at?
I'm in the house.
We ringing the bell, Dad.
Okay, hold on a minute. The bell don't work, but I have to come out and open the door.
Well, put on something decent. I'm being interviewed right now.
Okay, hold on a minute.
Okay. Dad, I got they interviewing me for my album.
Interview for your album. What I got to do with your album?
Well, I want you to talk to you because you're part of, growing up and in the house with the music thing. And I want you to give your comments. I'm serious. This is Steve Hurley.
Hey, how you doing? I remember that name.
Yeah.
Well, that's all he's ever been. What you hear now, that's all he's ever been. On the day that he got born, I was singing in my gospel chorus at Ebenezer.
Okay.
And so he was like born singing, my friend. And so what you see, he's always been that way.
Well, we see that Ron has a spiritual influence in everything that he does within his music. He tries to stay as positive as possible with the form of music that he does. It's a different genre from gospel music, but what he's trying to do is bring more people from different genres of music into that form of music, you know what I mean? So he's trying to deliver the word through through the music that he, because it's difficult nowadays in order to reach youth and even in fact inner city youth nowadays, with so much negativity that's going on, and so there's so much going on in the world right now that it's just difficult. So for him to do the type of music that he does, like a soulful dance type form of music, we just wanted to know like the influence and the upbringing, because it had to come from somewhere. So that's what he said. That's definitely my dad. So let's go by the house and try to find my dad, and he can tell you a little bit more than I can.
Right. Well, he was raised in the attitude of the music. He sang in our youth choir. We had a very good youth choir, and but he was still wanting to do more as far as his music is concerned. I tried to maybe get him into the opera house, but
he told us about the opera house.
He didn't want to be in the opera house, So consequently, he's doing what he's doing, and he does it very well. So what they call.
But Dad, tell him how we used to clash. Now, come on, tell him how I used to do it, and you didn't agree with me really about how we used to butt heads sometimes. You have to tell them that.
Like what your concerns were, like.
Yeah, different things.
Well, actually, you see, my concern is about my children. All of them is actually about salvation, because the only thing that you got in this world is to get prepared for salvation and for eternity, because eternity is all you got. And if you go into eternity, you understand me, in the wrong way, then there's nothing but punishment thereafter. So consequently, you understand me, my whole thing is that to see that he grew up in the spiritual household, and that I would know that he would be a saved man. You understand me? I definitely would know that, and by that, you understand me, that was my whole score as far as he was concerned. So, he used to sneak out at night on me and go out and play his music, and then think he's sneaking back in before I go to work in the morning.
That sounds familiar. Sounds like
it does sound familiar, doesn't it?
Yeah, when you see the DVD, you hear my story, and you hear some similar things going on. Acting like I was going to the grocery store to work and staying out all night DJing and play music.
And this guy here, he took him a long time when he was, stay up all night putting the signs up down the street, where he's spinning at. In the shopping cart and putting his records up, all of them down the street. And then, when he finally saw that I saw it, he thought I was going to say something, but I was surprised him. I didn't say anything. And that surprised him and everybody else, because I'm real strict about salvation, extremely strict, because that's all you got, my boy.
Yeah.
And you don't want to go into eternity and suffer, man, because that's all you will get when you leave here the wrong way.
Yeah.
And so I'm still holding tight on that. You see what I'm talking about? Still hanging tight on that. I mean, it's all about salvation. So, he's doing his, he gave me that thing, that inspiration record he did there, and so he's letting it be known that he does have this idea of salvation, you understand? I mean, dwelling with him, you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But I want to make sure that become full cycle.
Yeah.
So once it becomes full cycle, you understand? I mean, then I can sort of relax after that for a while.
Great. Well, that's amazing. Your son now is reaching a lot of people. Not just people within the community, but like people all around the world. So from the teachings that you instilled in him, now he's getting the opportunity to take what you've taught him and deliver that in a worldwide message, which is amazing. You have people whose lives actually changed by listening to Ron's music. People that are going down the wrong path, and then they decide, oh wait, I need to walk the right path now, because it's amazing how music touches people and how it really helps individuals out. Just along the line.
So the music is universal, I mean? You got the same notes, the same squares every place, you understand me? Just different lines just as to how you play it, right? Okay.
All right, Dad.
All right.
Y'all gonna see me hug my dad. I do this.
Hey, we all
gotta hug your dad.
I want to hug your dad.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't mind a hug too. How about that?
All right, brother.
Great job with that guy.
Thank you.
Right.
We definitely appreciate you speaking to the people, and
all right.
Now we know where it came from.
All right, you're welcome.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Have a good holiday.
All right, sure thing.
All right. We are here at the Classic Bangin' Enterprise. But this is a classic spot. I'm going to tell you why it was classic. This house right here All right, and I hope the people inside are like, why are they filming our house? But at the time, back in the day, man, in the mid '80s, this place was abandoned. Wasn't nobody here, and a guy at school, one of my old friends, he's probably passed away now, but told me about this place. He says, "Yo, man, this is abandoned house on Constance. We're on Constance Street." And he said, "Man, we need to go in and throw some parties." So we used to get DeAndre Sanders, which is a sound man, with a generator to come down here every Saturday night in that basement right here. Set up sound system, and the generator used to sit on the outside and the back. And we used to turn this place out. And it got so popular, the likes of Lil Lewis, Ferris Thomas, Boo Williams, Gene Hunt, Mike Williams, all them people used to come down here and play for free. They wanted to play for free. That's how off the chain it used to be. And from here, man, we created something that was in this neighborhood club that was off the chain. It was off the meter. And I remember one time we got shut down. And the last party we had, I mean, I put it this way, it was so popular, we had an artist come do on this whole wall, the Bangin' Enterprise. And I'm sure they took it off, but it was so insane. It was an artist who drew the Bangin' Enterprise. He had speakers and he had people on top of the speaker. Dope artwork. That lasted about a month. Our last party we had, if you come with me this way, you used to enter through here, through the side, and used to go all the way down to the back, okay? We had a line. We got so popular, we had a line going all the way down to the corner of people, okay? And it wasn't a single file line. Oh, excuse me, I was tripping. Single file line, it was like 3 and all of that, all the way down. So the neighbors got kind of scared. I was like, what in the world is going on, all these people? So what happens, the neighbors called on us. We used to have crowd control, but then it was so popular. We had this big line. The police came. They shut us down. They almost took DeAndre's equipment. We almost went to jail, the whole 9. But it was a great little time, man. It lasted for about a good year and a half. It became popular, but it was one of those milestones, you know, in my career.
Did they ever ask you if you own this place or anything like that?
Well, actually, they knew. All the neighbors on the block knew that the house was abandoned. That's the thing. They knew no one lived there. So they was like, why is everybody going to this abandoned house? You know what I mean? And that's what ended up happening. And we made a little money. You know, we used to charge $1 to get in. $1. That is less than €1. And I don't know about a pound. That had to be like, what, 50 pence back in the day? So, you know, it was a cheap place to get into, but it was fun. We even had, now, I don't know, y'all talking about marijuana on this?
Yeah, we talk about everything.
We used to have a weed room. Now, this was a special room. It was these big curtains used to close off apart. I never smoked weed, but
Amsterdam, you know what we talking about, baby. The weed room. Yeah. Back to Ron.
We used to have a weed room. And I mean, I didn't smoke weed then, but I kind of smoked it because I used to always go in that room and just stand there and inhale very deeply. So I think I was a product of smoking. But we used to have a weed room, everything. It was nuts in there, but it was a great time. And I remember starting in my career with the posters and stuff like that. I'm going to tell you about the poster wars too. It was unbelievable. We used to have production promotion teams. The Bad Boys, Galaxy, Gucci, Diamond Court, all these people, man, used to throw parties and hang up poster boards on poles to promote their party. Now, mind you, everybody had like 10 people in their crew, 8 people in their crew. When I used to work at this club called AKA's, it was just me. So imagine 10 people probably got like 3 or 4 cars in the crew. They put up posters everywhere, and me in the dead of winter used to get 1,000 posters. Go in my basement, drill holes in them. I didn't have any wire. Now check this out. I didn't have no wire because I used to buy wire from DeAndre, the guy who set up. I didn't buy no wire. I used to go out in the dead of winter, no gloves on, no hat, nothing, with a shopping cart I took from Jewel. Put the posters in there and walk for miles hanging up boards. I don't think anyone would do that back in the day or even try to do that now. That's why I know my love for this business is strong, because I've endured being like stuck up by one of the promotion companies like took me in a lot of a club and put a gun under my throat and said they're going to kill me because I'm tearing down their posters. And I'm like, I'm not tearing it down. People from Lil Lewis's camp, I was at one party, they all beat me up. The Bad Boys, I was at the Powerhouse, they beat me up. It was crazy. I had a crazy life growing up, but I stuck to it. I didn't give up, and now I'm seeing some benefits of my labor. And just stay true. I mean, even that those bad things happen to you, all those people running to me today, and they be like, Ron, I'm sorry for what I did to you then. You know, I'm sorry, you know. And you just forgive them, and you continue on, and if they need help from you, you help them. That's the way we do it. That's the way we do it.